Alright, so you ready to film? Think it's fractions now?
Oh, I will be, but first I need something done. I need to go undercover.
Oh, I'll leave you to it then. So I guess it's just me today. Fractions is the next thing in the book. How to add them and subtract them, how to times them and divide them. So adding and subtracting, you do the same thing. Timesing and dividing, you do the same thing. So I'm just going to go through addition, then multiplication, and then you can apply what you know to the subtraction and division. So what they deal with is stuff like, say, 5 and 2/7 plus 1 and 3/4. What does that equal? Now, how on earth do you do that? They're different things. You can't just add them. That would be bizarre. Good tip is to divide it up into whole numbers and fractions, then add all of it together. So divide this up into 5 plus 1 and 2 plus 7. 2 over 7 plus 3/4. Each of these things will equal something, and then when you add what each of these things equal together, then you'll get your final answer. So 5 plus 1 is nice and easy, it's 6. Then you add your 2/7 and your 3/4. So, you alright, James?
No, I'm not James.
Oh, sorry, you're undercover. Who are you then?
They are those who call me Tim.
Tim. Well, can you help us out, Tim? Oh, okay, sorry, Tim. Right, so first step is to get a common denominator. Now, the denominator is the bottom number, and that's how you can add them. You can only add fractions when the denominator is the same. How on earth do you do that? You find what's called the common product. So you times this one by 7 and this one times 4 to find what they each equal together. So this one times 4, you times the top and the bottom by 4, you're going to get 8 over 28. Then if you times this one by 7, you get 7 times 3 is 21, and the bottom is 28. Now you realise you've got the common denominator, that's why you did that. And then you can just add these together like normal. That's going to be 29 over 28, which is 1 and 1/28. Now, as I discussed, you add these two things together, so the final answer is 7 and 1/28. So, Tim, do you fancy helping us out now?
Oh, James back. I've sorted it out. Project with the cheese was a success.
Good. Like it.
Right.
So, that's addition. You'll notice I've gone through.
Yeah.
Then subtraction's the same thing, except you subtract them, so you divide it up into numbers, fractions, find the common denominator, and do it all, then subtract the two.
Good plan.
Now I'm on to multiplication and division, but I feel you should share your wisdom.
I can share wisdom. I could a really big pie. I have a piece.
Pie.
I like pie too. So first we need two things to times together. You've got a suggestion?
I could suggest one that's on my mind.
Alright.
2 1/4
Alright.
times by 2 2/5.
Ooh. Okay. So, like the first step up here, we're going to split it into numbers and fractions. So it'll be 2 times 2, which is 4, and then we'll have our other part, which is 1/4, times 2/5. But this is when it gets a bit saucy, like pie. You don't have to make them the same denominator.
Yes, that's the difference between multiplication and addition.
It is, because you don't just say times the top two numbers together, you times it all together. So the top one by the top one, and the bottom one by the bottom one. 1 times 2 is 2, 4 times 5 is 20, so it becomes 2/20.
And that would be the same with division. You divide, you flip it, then you times it with division, so we'll have to go through an example of that in a second.
You will. You might want it in the simplest form, so you can do that here. It becomes 1/10, so you can half both of them.
That'd be the same percentage, as it were.
It would. And then you just put these two things together, you just add these together.
Yep.
And it becomes 4 and 1/10. Your mixed number answer.
Now, I said I wasn't going to do division because it's the same thing as multiplication, but there is one slightly saucy thing.
There is, a little bit exciting. It's the same as multiplication, because basically you make it multiplication.
If we have 9 1/4 divided by 3 2/5, then you do the same thing, you divide it up into numbers.
You
9
do.
divided by 3.
And then you'll have 1/4 divided by 2/5. But we don't like that. That's not nice, is it, Wayne?
It's not. So when I said it's the same as multiplication, it's the same method, but with divide, what you've got to do is the first bit can stay the same,
Yeah, the second half you turn upside down.
and then multiply. So you can get rid of the division and flip that one upside down, so it's 5 over 2.
Yep, and then treat it as you would this one. It becomes 5 over 8.
Then
Which-
you add them
yeah.
together.
3 and 5/8.
5/8.
And I think that's pretty much fractions done with.
It is, that's all the fractions done. We'll see you at the next topic. I don't think we've got any more undercover missions at the minute.
I don't think we have. Like, we did them all in a fraction of the time most agents would, but we're just that good.
Very good, Commander James.
Very good, Commander Wayne.
That's good enough.